Hello everybody, my name is Minqua. Today we're going to be doing the IELTS practice set 3 speaking test 1. So first, about school days. Tell me something about your secondary school. Currently, I'm attending at Giao Long Secondary School. It's a small school in my province, Bencher, currently named Vân Long. And so my secondary school is definitely not the richest school or the school that has the best studying facilities or teaching experiments, but I do know that the teaching quality and the friendliness and the materials that are given to students at my school is more than enough for me to be able to accomplish great achievements regarding my academics. Which subject did you find the most difficult at school? Why? To me, probably the hardest subject at my school that I've currently learning is probably chemistry and physics, something around the subject of science. Because to me, I feel like those two subjects, especially chemistry, is a little bit too harsh and dry for me, especially since I'm a person that's more of like speaking, more of like expressing myself. So to other subjects like Vietnamese or English or more interesting subjects like arts, music, etc., I find myself really comfortable with learning it. But for dry, hard subjects that require a lot of memory, like chemistry or physics, I feel myself being trapped in a bunch of equations, in a bunch of information that I need to acknowledge, which is very challenging for me. Do you ever need that subject? Now, I feel like as even if though I do not really enjoy chemistry and physics overall, I feel like they're very helpful to my general knowledge because first chemistry and physics they give me a sense of how does the world around me work. So what will that chemistry would be like? What will that substance be like? Like what is the reason why there comes other forces in life? How do forces change? How do matters change? How are there liquid? How are there gas? How are there solid objects? And that make me be more aware and more understanding in my own general world that I'm living in. What did you enjoy about being a school student? Probably the biggest reason why I still enjoy the life of being a school student so much is that I get to experience a lot of things. Because usually, some people might say that homeschooling or self-studying is way much more effective. But to me, I feel like when I can experience a life of a school student, I feel myself being way much more uh, open and I feel myself being able to learn these subjects way much more comfortably because first I get to experience different viewpoints probably, right? Different teachers will have different viewpoints, different students will have different understanding of a subject, and so when I was able to communicate with them, when I was able to interact with them, being able to exchange knowledge with them, I feel myself really growing. Buildings. Now, are there any famous buildings in your hometown? So, in my hometown, it is a place that's known for natural ecotourism and a lot of spiritual ecotourism. So, in my place, one of the most famous buildings is probably the Đồng Khơi movement. So, it is a sculpture of the movement where it signatures for a real historic event. So that historic event was when people stood up against war of the American Revolution. And so everyone was standing up and that equals to the Đồng Khởi movement. And what type of building do most people in your hometown live? Usually in my hometown, it is a very peaceful place, and I'd rather say that it is more of a suburban or a rural area rather than busy places or rural areas like Ho Chi Minh City, etc. So I feel like in my places, people live way much more comfortably, and housing gardening, etc., it's way much more comfortable. So usually a lot of families in our place will tend to build their own houses and will tend to live in their own housings. Should building be attractive to look at? Why or why not? I feel like buildings, although their main like reason is for living, for shelter, for uh displaying things, I feel like as a person that goes around a lot, studies things a lot, experiences things a lot, goes to a lot of places, I feel like the more attractive a building is, the more um economic, the more attractiveness will it reach to people, right? But if it's just a normal building that holds like really real meaning with it, then that's what really matters. It's not just about the attractiveness, it's not just about the physical look of it, but it's how it means to people, is how it meant to the people in that area, and that's what really matters. What's the most unusual building you've ever seen? Probably the most unusual building that I've ever seen is the building in that I've went to. It's shaped in a circular way, and it's full of like diamond uh characteristics and features, and it was really really cool. People were really really crowded, but I feel like I was still able to enjoy every moment when I stood at that building. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.